Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. I am so excited because A, I found my Hot Girls Read Smut t-shirt, which has set me up in just the right frame of mind for today. B, because can you see this foreign object here, which is the sun? Crazy. And number 3 is because this is a Valentine's Day video. I am going to see the new Bridget Jones, so when you are watching this, I will have just been or just going to see the new Bridget Jones with my sister, which I can't wait. And I wanted to give you my top smutty romances that I think you should be reading over this weekend. So if you have or haven't got Valentine's plans, this is A, going to be better than anything you could have planned, and B, how could you not want to read this? I actually love smut. I love a good, like, juicy, sexy book, and these are some of the ones that I think you should be reading as priority. So thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like and the subscribe button, and let's crack on with the video. I'm going to start off with romance as a genre, then we'll go on to the romantic books. But I figured for my romance girlies, if you're not a fantasy girl, which you will be by the end of 2025 if it kills me, you can then kind of click off it if you're not interested in hearing of the romantic recommendations. But number 1 for romance. Now, I have not seen many people talking about this book. This book is still got the buy one get one free stick that I got it in from Waterstones. But this is called Match Point. It's by Catherine Riley. She is also the nicest. We've spoken quite a few times on Instagram because she's quite a new author, and this is brilliant. I'll tell you a bit about the plot and then I'll tell you about the tropes, and you can kind of get a gauge if it's for you. But basically it's about this famous tennis player called Kieran O'Sullivan. He is in Wimbledon, he has made it to the Grand Slam, and he has found a room to rent in Wimbledon. Now you can kind of guess where this is probably going, but Flora Hendricks isn't really into the tennis, she doesn't really care about Wimbledon, and she wants to get out of Wimbledon for the tennis period. She wants to get away, she wants to go, I think, if I remember rightly, she wants to write and she wants to escape for it. And she books this Airbnb, she books this lodge, it's amazing, she's very excited. Then in the morning she's due to leave and Kieran is due to arrive. It gets cancelled. She has to stay in Wimbledon, but he also has to stay in Wimbledon. You can kind of see where this is going. They're forced to move in together. It's got all the tropes of enemies to lovers. He is very grumpy, she is very sunshine. I feel like it was single bed, but I'll have to check on that on Goodreads for you guys. But I loved it. It's like a really accessible length. I think it's like 350 pages or 300 pages. And I just really liked seeing, I don't feel like you see a lot of tennis sports romance. It's very like hockey, ice hockey, all of that, which is obviously amazing. But if you fancy something a bit different, I really like this. I think I gave it a 4-star and I just really enjoyed it. Let me know if you have read this or would be interested. Next up, you will have seen this, I can guarantee, but if you are a cowgirl lover and you like your ranches, all of that good stuff, you will like Live Ranch Love. This is by Emma Lucy, I was gonna say Emma Lawrence. Emma Lucy, she is amazing. This is her debut novel. This was also in the She Made It box and I love it. So this is basically about Rory. She is a wellness influencer and she goes to a ranch which is left to her by her great aunt. She goes there, she's trying to like wellness influence the ranch so that more people want to attend, but she is stuck with grumpy Wyatt. Now he doesn't believe in the whole influencer thing. He's like, why? What are you going to do that's going to get all these people to the ranch? But naturally, the more time we spend together, again, grumpy sunshine. It's not one bed, this is false proximity, and honestly, he is one of my favorites. He's so grumpy. Rory is like so cutesy and jolly. It's not sickly, it's not like unbelievable. The pacing is really good. You can like imagine that they would be together, like if they were in this scenario together, you can see how it would happen. Plus it's like a really beautiful cover. This is one of the only times I've really liked seeing like character art on exactly how I imagine them, so it just worked out perfectly. And she has just signed a deal for 2 more books, so get on it before it goes crazy again. Next up is another sports romance. This is smutty, this is really good. It's a bit chunkier, but it's by Tessa Bailey. To be honest, this is the only Tessa Bailey I've loved, and when I say loved, I loved it. This was a 5-star read for me, and it was just so fun. Now this golf pro, he's called Wells Whitaker, and her name is Josephine Doyle, and she has been his #1 fan for the longest time. His golf game has started to suck, it started to fall down in the rankings, and the only fan he has left is lovely Josephine. She turns up to every game, and then she wins a competition to have one-on-one time with him. He cancels, he's like, not interested. She's like, I'm not going to be your fan anymore. You don't need me, I don't need you. Then she becomes his caddy. They go around the world together, it's forced proximity. She has to go around with him, he has to train with her. And honestly, this is brilliant. I took it on holiday, I read it last year. And honestly, I devoured it. This is my favourite Tessa Bailey and probably one of my top 5 romances that I read last year. Super accessible, super fun, really easy read. I liked the characters. Again, it felt believable, it didn't feel cringe, and I devoured it. Oh, I love this book. This honestly isn't that smutty, but I had to include it because it's my favourite. I loved this book so much. Oh, it's just so good, and it's a special edition. Everything about it brings me joy. This is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm gonna say this is my favourite Emily Henry ever. I've read all of them, I'll be ready for Great Big Beautiful World, and this is #1. So this is basically about a group of friends. They go to the same destination for holiday every single year, but this year the main couple have split up. So Harry and Wynne obviously have this group of friends. They get there, but they've been broken up for 6 months. They don't expect to see each other because I think they agree that one of them won't go, but both turn up. This is again forced proximity, but honestly, the amount of quotes I've highlighted in this book, that could be a whole other video. If you love like a really believable love story of like characters who really do love each other and it just feels like heartbreaking, and you can see why they were together and you can see why they've broken up and you want them to go back together, but you can see why they aren't. And I fell hook, line and sinker for the characters in this book. It was just beautiful. If you've like not read Emily Henry, start here. If you've read Emily Henry, you thought, that's not the best, that's not for me, still go for this one. It is utterly beautiful. And then lastly, not a super smutty one again, now I'm thinking about it, but this was really, really, really good. This is about Forrest Annie Walker, sex tattooed Will Griffin. She works in a flower shop and he's basically a bodyguard for a really famous musician who is hiding in the sleepy town where this book is set. And he is like trying to stay uninvolved with the town. He doesn't want to engage with the town. He's like grumpy and mysterious, but he can't help but be won over by the flower girl. This is part of a series. If you like small town charm, bad boy, forced proximity, again, this is beautiful. It is so well written. It's also like a really beautiful cover, not that that's the point, but I loved this. It just felt like a really wholesome book. And then I read all 3 in the series, which are the ones on the back. So the When in Rome one is also part of this series, and if you like getting lost in a series, you like feeling the same characters, you like seeing how they link together, then this is a really good one for that. Now we're on to romantasy. The holy grail of romance for me right now is romantasy. I am obsessed, as you can tell by my copy of A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is epic. Obviously this is not the start of the ACOTAR Sarah J Maas book series, but this is probably my favourite. I don't know. Oh, I love it so much. Every time I read the back I'm like, too back. If you want very sexy books, these are it. Like, I get the nervousness, I get the anticipation around fantasy. It's like, oh, I'm not sure, I'm not really into that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not a Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, I'm not into that kind of fantasy, but this kind of fantasy I can get on board with. Will take you to somewhere else. If you are trying to escape reality while you're reading, honestly, try a romantasy. Now, if you feel like these are too much, I get it, they're chunky, they're long, although you'll want them to be 17 times the length by the time you're finished with them. I would honestly try Quicksilver. Now, I don't have my copy on Quicksilver because I read it on my Kindle as part of the She Made It book club, but that for me is like a really nice dipping your toe in fantasy. It's not too otherworldly. It's not too much of a stretch to the imagination. It's not too challenging. It's basically about this girl. She is from like a very poor family. She's like fighting for her life in like a very poverty ridden town, and she realized that she can wield or mold metal. That is probably the extent to which the magic goes at the start of the book. She then gets, I don't want to spoil things, she gets then taken away somewhere else to another world. That is where obviously the fantasy goes a bit deeper, but once you're in that other world, you feel like you're just reading like a normal book. It's just like so descriptive, it's beautiful, it's very slow burn, it's very sexy. I loved the main characters. It's very strong, independent women, it's feisty, it's fun. And honestly, if you don't want to go for like a big series, Quicksilver's the first one that's come out in that series. The next isn't out until November. It is a really easy stepping stone into fantasy. So that would be my recommendation on fantasy. I have got completely dead legs and I'm due to go catch a train today to obviously go see Bridget Jones. So I'm going to sign off here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day, whatever you're doing. Let me know below what your plans are. I'm having a Galentine's and I'm very excited, and I love you very much. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you very soon for a brand new video. Bye.